So today we're talking about a little passion of mine, and that is organization, social media, and marketing content calendars. You know, the holidays, Q4, all of it is coming on us very fast and very quickly. And if we're not ready for it, we can miss out. We can lose out on all sorts of revenue generating activities. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be successful. So today I'm going to share with you why your content calendar is your secret weapon and give you some tips on creating a great one. Are you in? I know I am. Let's get this party started. Hey there, welcome to the Lora Shipman Show. We hang out here weekly to talk about things like social media, entrepreneurship, marketing, tools, strategies, tips, and it all starts right now. Hey there, before we get started with this show, I just want to share my passion with you. I love teaching people just like you how to master social media for business, breaking it down into easy to consume and easy to execute steps so that you can see immediate results. So whether you want to start a social media consultancy or grow your brand's presence on social media, I can help. I can help you get started and master all the things that you need to know. So I want you to go over to my website. It is filled with resources, tools, tips, and courses. Visit lorashipman.com. That's LORA Shipman.com to get all the goods. Now, you ready for the show? I know I am. Let's get started. Okay. Yes, I am a nerd when it comes down to it and we talk about all things organization, productivity, efficiency, all of that. I just love the topic. And I'm extremely passionate about it when it comes to social media because I work with a lot of clients every day, and there are some people who they've got this nailed, and then there are others that really struggle and they're just throwing spaghetti against the wall and hoping something sticks. When I'm helping my clients, I take it upon myself to really help them through this process because I can see the gaps. And sometimes they turn to me, right, just for that vision because I'm an outsider looking in on their business, how it's performing, how they're making sales, how they're not making sales, how they're attracting their target audience, and how they are not, or actually maybe even repelling their target audience. So one of the most effective ways that you can ensure your social media is organized, consistent, and engaging is by building a winning content calendar. A well-structured content calendar not only helps you plan your posts in advance so you're not trying to think up things on the fly, but it also allows you to maintain a cohesive brand voice. And that's what we all want. And we want to track performance and then adapt to trends seamlessly, God, I wish I could talk, as well as making the tweaks as we go along. It's easier to tweak content than it is to actually come up with something that's really going to perform. So let's dive in. I suggest you get pen and paper handy if you can, so that we can go through this. And then by the end, you'll have some actionable notes to go ahead and implement for Q4. And I'm going to do more of these podcasts, by the way. And if there's something that you want to hear about as we approach Q4, don't be shy. Make sure you post a comment on this podcast, send me a DM, send me an email, whatever it is. I want to hear from you and I want to help you. And I want to give you the tools for a successful Q4. Okay. Number one, and I know this one's going to sound very overdone and very overused, but it's really, really important. And that is to define your goals. It's not enough to say to make more sales. How are you going to make more sales? So before you start filling in your content calendar, establish clear goals. What is it that you want to achieve with your effort? Is it increasing brand awareness? Is it increasing or driving traffic to your website? Is it generating leads and sales? Is it building a community, or is it enhancing customer engagement? This is going to be different for everyone. And you might say, yes, raise your hand to all of those, and that's fine. But you just need to know what that is, because each one of those bullet points of what you want to accomplish will dictate a different type of post or a different type of content. Number two, and this is really important, choose your platform. Again, this is something that a lot of people talk about, and I think it's important because a lot of people think they need to be anywhere and everywhere. Your audience, your ideal customer, is not anywhere and everywhere. Depending on what your business is, they may be on Instagram or they may be on TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube. You really need to think and know who that audience member is for you. Who are you trying to attract and where do they hang out? And if you're not sure the answer to that, because I've struggled with that a lot. And if you're not sure who that is, think of two things. First off, think about yourself. Where do you like to hang out most? Do you like TikTok? Do you like Instagram? Maybe Facebook is your jam. Figure out what that platform is, because more often than not, that's where your ideal customer is going to be hanging out too. The second thing to think about is, who is your favorite customer? How did you find them? And where do they like to hang out? And if you're not sure about where they like to hang out, ask them, because that's going to give you insight into where their doppelganger is on social media, right? Where is their twin? Who will be twinning with them on social media? So once you can determine all of that, that will help you figure out what type of content you're going to be putting out there. Is it going to be mostly static posts? Is it going to be video? Is it going to be things like short form video? Things like stories? Because once you figure out what that platform is, that's going to help you stop the insanity of creating all sorts of content for every single platform out there, because chances are you're wasting your time and spinning your wheels because you're spending so much time trying to please everybody instead of pleasing that person who really wants to be your BFF online. So once you figure out where you're going to be posting, this is when you can kind of determine what your content is going to look like. And you want to balance it. You don't want to go down one runway and just stay there. You want to mix it up so that your account doesn't become white noise, predictable, or boring. And here's what I mean. You want to mix it up between promotional posts, educational posts, behind the scenes stuff. User-generated content works really well. Industry news, maybe some inspirational quotes, some humor. So you really want to know your audience, because you're going to know what's going to light them up and keep them interested and keep them engaged. And that's exactly what you want to do. Now, if you're not sure what that content is for you, go take a look at your past analytics and see what performed really well. And that will give you a good indication of what your audience is looking for. And then double down on that. Start with that and then spread out from there. But what you want to do, make sure you keep it interesting. Make sure you throw in all sorts of different things so that your feed looks interesting, inviting, and engaging. Okay, the next thing you're going to figure out is your commitment to social media. A lot of people jump in 2 feet first and they have a lot of energy behind this and they commit to posting every single day, maybe twice a day, 3 times a day, whatever it may be. Think long and hard about that. Is that going to be something that you can remain consistent with without burning out? So I have a couple of platform guidelines that you can use to help you determine what your posting schedule will be and on what platforms. Now, Facebook will start there, I would say 1 to 2 times a day, and maybe that's a story and a post feed. Instagram would be like 1 post a day plus several stories per day and a couple of reels per week. Twitter, I'm thinking 3 to 5, if not into the double digits, because I think of Twitter as a breaking news type of platform that if you have regular updates that you need to stay on top of, that's when I would use Twitter. LinkedIn, you can probably get away with 1 to 2 times a week. TikTok, if you really want to grow on TikTok, I would almost say little micro videos every day. So you're going to have to think about your audience, your product, your goals, your business overall as to what platform is going to be right for you, and then how much you can really commit to for posting on social media. Because if you break your consistency, the algorithm's going to know it and your audience is going to know it, and it's not going to feel very good when you're in the middle of fourth quarter wondering where all your activity is. Okay, now that you know which platforms you're going to show up on and how many times you're going to show up per week, it's time to figure out what your content themes and campaigns are going to be. Fourth quarter is kind of a fun quarter to plan because you've got all those fall vibes going on, you have all the holidays going on, and you can really play off of those. And I feel like the content comes a little bit easier. And I probably should do this same episode on Q2 and Q3 because that's when people start to feel the downturn of the year and it's a painful time of year. But what you want to do is you want to organize your content around themes or campaigns to create a cohesive narrative, something that can help build anticipation among your audience. For example, you could dedicate each week of the month to a different theme or run a monthly campaign around specific events or holidays that are going on in the month. And this just makes planning so much easier and it'll help you, feed different products and services into these different themes. So what I like to do is I like to think about my content pillars and maybe like 3 to 5 different areas of my business that I really, really want to focus on. But what if you're stumped? Like, what if you don't know what that looks like for you? I have a couple tools and a couple places that I go to help me figure this out. So let's say you have a jewelry business. This is the process I would follow. Pinterest is an amazing tool. So what you could do is you could go over to Pinterest and do a little search. Look for some trend boards, see what's trending for the holidays, for gift ideas, seasonal color palettes. What are some holiday themes they're using? Then head over to Instagram, check out the Explore page and hashtags and look through popular hashtags like hashtag holiday jewelry or gift ideas or jewelry trends. And then look at competitor accounts. What did they do last year this time? And what are they gearing up for now? And maybe you might want to head over to some fashion magazines and blogs. They're right now starting to post holiday content. What are those headlines looking like? I love magazines. One of my favorite things to do, and I know I'm going off on a tangent here, is when I'm in the grocery store and I'm sitting in the line, I will look at what are the headlines on those magazines. And that will just give me, instant ideas for upcoming content and caption hooks. And I have been known to pull out my phone and actually take pictures of those magazine titles or covers because they really do help. And if that is like hard for you to do, sometimes even just going to your favorite websites, like retail websites, if you are trying to sell a product, even for services too, it works. How are they positioning their stuff? And it just makes it a really easy way for you to come up with inspiration. Another thing you could do is check out Etsy shops and other online marketplaces. Maybe even Amazon's a good place to check because they always have like gift guides and things like that. Pay attention to social media trends. TikTok is a great place for that. Something's always trending on TikTok, and figure out how you can make it work for your business or your product or service. Same thing with Instagram, Reels, and Stories. The cool thing is the answers are out there. We just have to look for them, right? Try and be creative as to where you're looking for your inspiration and your ideas, and trust me, they will come. Okay, my friend, we've done the hard part, right? We have our themes, we have our content ready to go. Now we just need to organize it and make sure we stay on track all during Q4. And I know it can be hard. There's going to be a lot coming at you during Q4, so it's really important to use some sort of a tool that's going to keep you on track and organized. Myself, I like to keep it a little simple, and I use Google Docs or Sheets to plan out the quarter, and then I use a scheduling tool like Metricool, which I absolutely love. I have a link in the description so you can check that out for free. Other options are things like Trello or Notion. Whatever it is, just get something and stay committed to it because it's going to help you stay on track for the rest of the year. One of my favorite little tips or hacks that I use all the time when I'm creating content is a little thing I coined batch and slay. I love to batch content. I will designate a certain couple of hours to create content for myself, to create content for my clients, so that I am free to do other things during the month. So I'm just not constantly on the content creation hamster wheel, because trust me, it can be a hamster wheel. So I really, really suggest you take time to batch content. One day, make it a writing day where you're just writing out all the content and the way it's going to look and doing all your research for hashtags and keywords. Then the next day, maybe it's purely a graphic day and all you're doing is coloring for adults and making graphics to go along with the content you're going to post. And then you throw it into a scheduler like Metricool, and all that's left to do is monitor and adjust. You want to keep your eyes on what's going on. You can't just post it and forget about it. You need to watch how things are performing and then make little tweaks as you go along. And then if you see something go viral or seem to pick up steam, make sure you pay attention to that, because that's what your audience wants to see. And you need to double down on that type of content and create more of it. That's why the adjustment and monitoring segment of this whole plan is super important. Okay, my friends. Well, that does it for this episode. That's how I would attack creating a winning social media content calendar for Q4. If you loved this episode and you want more of this kind of stuff, and if you want me to take a deeper dive, please let me know about it. Send me a comment on this episode, tag me in a post, DM me, send me an email, whatever it is. I am out there. If you Google me, you will find me. And let me know, what is it that you want to see? What do you need more help with? And if you have a friend in need of a content calendar or some sort of social organizational tool, please send them this episode. I would really appreciate it. And I'm sure your friend would appreciate it too. All right, my friend, thanks again for tuning in. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay social. Hey there, I just want to say thank you for spending time with me here today. I know your time is super valuable, which is why I am dedicated to providing lots of usable, actionable information in the shortest amount of time possible. Before you go, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. And if you have ideas or topics you would like me to cover in an upcoming show, let me know about it in the comment section provided.